welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. 4 reviews up this week, the first of which is Mirlo Above the Sun. I think that's how that's pronounced. Now, it's one of these fictitious name things that may differ from our pronunciation.
Weird how it works.
Yeah, especially since this is from a foreign country to us. The game hails from Spain, specifically the Basque region. Because why otherwise would this get localized in the local Basque language? That's usually a tell. But anyway,
looks like it may be a kind of bird.
Could be, but as I said, Anyway, Mirlo Above the Sun is a freeware game that we periodically showcase on the program. And in addition to that, it's a student project. Hailing from the, I hesitate to use the word renowned, but certainly notable, the DigiPen Institute of Technology. They've kind of been
the one that used to actually put like ads in gaming magazines and stuff.
Well, that's because DigiPen is a for-profit college. But they've, they're probably most notable for providing a lot of fresh talent to the Nintendo Software Technology Corporation. Nintendo's first and really still only built from the ground up non-Japanese team. And obviously they've provided talent to other developers across the decades, and they've I think their most famous branch is probably the one in Redmond, but they've got offices elsewhere. Like this comes from the DigiPen Europe in Bilbao division. I'm assuming that's the specific town that this is from. Anyway, so yeah, the base summation here is Mirlo Above the Sun is a student project. And let's see how to approach this, because the game isn't too good. I will level with you in the here and now. It's not unplayable, and Galax, we can hear you saving your ice.
Sorry, I forgot to mute.
Did that last week, I think. Anyway, yeah, but it's to use some educator parlance here, we will grade on a curve, because it's hard to just slam the book down on the game, because this is done by senior students, but students nonetheless. And this is and the goal of this, from what I'm seeing here, was to develop a game within a 9 development cycle using UE4, which isn't the most amount of time for something that's using UE4, but you work with what you got, I guess.
I mean, that's part of the challenge, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, because
it's like a really extended for-profit game jam.
Well, in a manner of speaking, I guess. DigiPen didn't charge anything to play this. So
no, I mean the development.
Right.
If they were students at DigiPen, you said it's for profit, so they paid to be there.
Right. Now, granted, I'm not sure if it's different with the European branch of DigiPen. I'll know different countries have different laws about this shit. So, like the Spanish branch of DigiPen could be, publicly funded for all we know. It's like, I do know, like, the mother branch, that's for profit shit. And surprisingly, not yet. They haven't been caught in any school scandals, unlike some other fucking staples of the for-profit college advertising scene. Looking at you, ITT Technical Institute. I mean, there's a thing about that that's coming up on Wednesday, but we'll get into that. And apparently the specific team that developed this was Kaiju in the Bayou, which doesn't flow as nicely as they think it does.
It's a really good name, though, I think. Like, it may not have perfect flow, but I still think it's good.
Yeah. So, independent of that, Mirlo Above the Sun sees the titular character engaged in a battle against the Solrayan civilization, who has come to invade her homeland and just wreck shit as evil empires do. Like,
am I supposed to have my shocked face now?
No, and to further compound the non-shock, they are invading for the purposes of gathering resources, extracting machines, and exploiting them, according to the text. Once again, pretty stock evil stuff.
I mean, unless machines are evil, or unless machines are sentient, being exploited is kind of what they're there for.
Mm-hmm. And so your job is to hack and slash through the land and, obviously rescue shit. It's a pretty typical threadbare plot to explain who you are and what you're doing. But you really shouldn't be narrowly concerned, let's say. Now, as far as the game itself, yeah, this is where we ran into problems. It's like the game is maybe a bit too simple in its design. Though I see Petty figured out how to unlock the dodge attack or the dash attack.
Yeah, it is actually an unlock.
Yeah.
So that is something.
Is it fairly limited verbs or?
Yeah. You unlock the dash when you have to deal with the traps you see on screen right now. Like, yeah, as far as hacking and slashing and all that goes, it's basic. It's about what you would expect. So you might be asking, where does the problem lie? The game isn't really attuned to group combat.
No, not at all.
Either in its combat parameters, or its collision detection and its hitboxes, kind of wonky.
It's not like there's a Z target system and then the enemies don't leave you alone when you're Z targeting someone else, at least.
I mean, we had this shit solved in 1998, and we're still getting games that go, I don't need dedicated targeting. It'll work out by itself. Never mind that, fighting hordes of enemies without the lock-on is so much more painful and annoying. Always has been, always will be. But once again, since it's a student project, they might not have had time to program that in. But, yeah, the signs of its, maybe not strained development, but perhaps its rush development also showcase in, like I said, it's got some dodgy hit detection. Its camera needed work. It doesn't always work out.
Do you want to vomit every time the camera does a, 180-degree flip?
And like I said, it's not problems you can really see on the surface, but when you get to actually play the game, and that effusive term that we call game feel, it's pretty bad. Like, this is why it's important to play games, because the flaws cannot always be explained perhaps just by seeing a game. Granted, there are limits to what verbiage can do as well, but we do our best. At least we usually do. And as far as I think the biggest thing going for the game is its art direction. Pretty impressive art direction, though they could have turned down the. I get there's the sun in the title, but this game is a little too bright.
Yeah.
Though it does have some decent shadows going on here, but it's kind of eye-searing. And yeah, I mean, that's about it in terms of its construction. It's a fairly simple concept that's using a really powerful engine. I'm willing to bet that UE4 experience was the biggest takeaway to be gained from this project. I don't have access to the lesson planner, but especially since they're using Unreal Engine 4 as opposed to Unity, that's a bit of an eyebrow raiser in and of itself. This is, this isn't really a beginner's engine, as I understand it. I mean, certainly you can work in it, but there are reasons why Unity is so much more prevalent than UE4 on the indie scene. Anyway, any additional commentary from you, Petty?
Not really. This is a game. Group combat sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Wish I had more to say about it, but oftentimes we get games that are very simple, very easy to convey, and they can be wrapped up within say 10 minutes or so, however long it's been. Anyway, as far as whether or not you should play it, I say maybe give it a go. Though I don't see somebody unrelated to the dev team or whatever, or somebody who has to actually assign this a letter grade playing more than an hour. It's very generic in its construction, but once again, I think that is part of the purpose here. To actually just get acquainted with the basics of game development and all that stuff. And yeah, I suppose if I had to assign my own letter grade, C-. See me after class. We need to talk about Z targeting, or whatever we want to call it this week. L targeting, lock-on feature. It would
left trigger finger targeting.
Yeah. That really would have made this game a lot better. C'est la vie. All right. Anyway, so that'll about do it for Mirlo Above the Sun. Be sure to tune in after the break, as Petty Fan will be reviewing Observer System Redux.